Hello everyone, this is Jim Walker with Jim Walker Archery, and today we are going to talk about how to upgrade cheap arrows. So I got these arrows off of Amazon. They cost about $30 for 12. Yes, you heard me right. $30 for 12. I think my Gold Pierce Platinums, they run about $12 for one. So let's just take a look at these arrows real quick and talk about them. And we're going to talk about upgrading these and making them actually really usable. Here. Oh, and they include points. Now, the points are hundreds, so not a big fan. At least not for traditional archery. Recurve 100 grain points don't make much sense to me. But anyway, they are included. Goes in the garbage. All right. So the arrow themselves has really nice fletching. So the fletching is probably the best part of this arrow. Just really nice and slick. You'll find these low-cost arrows with multiple types of fletching colors and such. Now what's nice, it also has, if you're going to be shooting off the hand, it has this really nice little tape on the front, which I thought was really cool. The worst thing about this arrow is the nock. Now the nock is essentially useless. There's no purpose for this nock. It will be embarrassment for you. You take it down to the range and try to shoot it a couple times, and you're going to drop a couple on the ground and look pretty foolish. First objective is to remove that nock. Okay, zooming into the vise here real quick, we're going to try to remove this nock. Now usually I can just put it in the vise and tighten it down and turn it, it'll come right off. If you kind of get it right up to the end and tighten it down real tight, you actually will kind of crimp it, make it a little easier to break off. And pull, turn and pull. Usually the glue on these things is pretty cheap, so yeah, just like that, comes right off. If it doesn't come off, you might have to get the drill out and drill it out, but as you can see, it's a nothing special nock, garbage. Okay, so now that we have removed the knot, in this particular case, these inserts are made of a really flimsy glue. So the best method I find that works is just go ahead and stick a point on it, stick it in the old vise. You might even be able to tighten it down and literally break it off. Yeah, see that? So very bad. When you shoot a couple of these into a hay bale, you essentially are going to leave the point in the hay bale. So let's not do that. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this completely. This is just a standard insert, nothing special. What I recommend you do is go with a gold tip insert that allows for weights, because you can do all kinds of interesting things. You can add your weights to them. And that's very helpful, especially when you're tuning your arrow. It's just a fantastic way to go. Yes, I agree, the weights are a little bit pricey, but it's just awesome because you can take this arrow and you can kind of play with the spine a little bit and kind of pull it to the right, left, or play around with your ranging accuracy. Anyway, it's a wonderful way to go. Get the insert with the weight adapter. It's not just Gold Tip. There's a couple other companies who make them. Anyway, go ahead and pop that in there. Normally I'll just use some hot glue. Earlier I mentioned super glue, which is usually what I would use if I'm never going to take it out. But if you are planning on taking it out, then just use a hot glue. Put it on. All right, so 125s. That's the way to go with these arrows. Let's see what I've got. There we go. 125 points is always the go-to when you're shooting recurve. This is actually a 58-inch it's a Bear Archery from like 1973. Just love this bow. Simple, does the job. Very fun. And just put the old 125 on there, and essentially we'll have a brand new spiffy arrow with better points, and you can control the insert from breaking out. Okay, so now that we have our point in, let's talk about the knock. You know, the knock, usually don't have to clean them. You don't have to do a whole lot on that. So knocks, I would recommend that you look at upgrading to biter knock. Biter knock is just awesome. What's wonderful about them is, unlike a regular knock, you literally put it on here. It has a little bit of a hold, but the biter knock is just so much better. Once it goes on, makes a nice clicking sound, and it comes off super smooth. So really love the biter knocks. Definitely recommend that upgrade. Obviously, you're increasing the price of your arrow just a little bit by going with a better knock and a better point. But it's a great way to get a quality arrow for stupid cheap. Now, again, I've replaced the insert, I've replaced the point, and I've replaced the knock. So it took this arrow from, what was it, $2-ish, $2 to $3 each, maybe up to $3 or $4 or $5 each. Well, that's the whole arrow with everything on it for $5. Wow. I think like I said, my regular arrow is going to run anywhere between $10 to $15 after I put all my funny gizmos on it. So you literally can get you can get several times more arrows for the price. And these actually fly pretty well. Now, I am suspicious about these cheap, low-cost arrows. I did break one the other day, and looks like fiberglass to me. All right, well, I'm gonna call that fiberglass, but irrespective, flies well. I just shot a bunch of arrows yesterday, 50 yards, 60 yards, 70 yards. I had a couple dead center kills on 70 yards. Well, not kills, I hit the dead center of the target at 70 yards, and that was amazing. But it just goes to show that a $3 arrow actually can work. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video on how to upgrade cheap and low-cost arrows that you might buy on eBay or Amazon. If you have any other questions, please add them to the comments. I would love to help you out, and let's build better arrows.